What's going on, y'all? This is Wayno here. We on behalf of Puma and everything. You know what I'm saying? We here to talk about the 50th anniversary of hip-hop and what a mixtape means. We're gonna discover that today. To the right of me, I got Jim Jones, feel me? Repping Harlem. I got Nyla Symone, you DMV and all that. I got OG Ron C repping Houston. I got DJ Holiday, you know what I'm saying? Repping the South, repping the A. I got Lenny S from the Bronx, and I got DJ Clue repping Queens. We're gonna have a real good conversation today. Y'all tune in. Simple question, right? Like, fuck is a mixtape? I mean, like, what is a mixtape? I know all of us got different entry points into this game. We've all been at one point in time, like, either worked on a mixtape or a mixtape might have changed our lives. Capo, you being an artist, Clue, you being a DJ, Holiday, you know, Lenny, you being an A&R, putting it together, and you also being a DJ, and Nyla, you got a different perspective because, you know, you coming on the later side when it comes to mixtapes, but I just got that simple question to start this convo off. Like, how do we define a mixtape?
I feel like it's changed over the years, man. Before it was like, you know, a compilation of songs from different artists, and then it became, you know, a camouflaged album.
Yeah, I mean, I think a mixtape is different for a DJ than it is for artists.
Right.
Yeah, because when you did the mixtapes, all the artists wanted to get on your mixtape.
Right.
You did? But for artists, it's an album that an artist feels that he has no restrictions, he just going all out, and a lot of times that should sound better than the album that a lot of artists, including myself, them put out.
But that came to like at a later time, right? Because I'm just speaking from me being a kid, going to find the DJ Clue mixtape, and like you said, it's like today they would call it a playlist, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like the internet changed that. The internet changed the whole perspective of the mixtape, the how you can download it, this, that. Before you had to get it on a cassette or a CD.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it changed
the
whole
CD
outlook on
too,
it.
like when the CDs was obsolete, that really changed the mixtape game because it was something about having that CD.
Physical copy.
You know what I mean? Like it just was like, yo, I got the new
Right.
mixtape, I got it was just like, I got it.
But the origin of it was like what Jim was saying, no restrictions, no rules, no samples clear. There's none of those rules you have to abide by in a label that restricts you from sometimes putting out a dope project.
Yeah.
You know how many times like you get a song you can't clear or somebody don't, you know, come through with the paperwork in time or something. So I just think like a mixtape was a dope compilation of music that was as dope as it can be because it had no rules.
OG Ron C, I want to know, like, you know, coming from Texas, you know what I mean, and the way y'all approach mixtapes, like what was different than what y'all seen going on the East Coast?
We use mixtapes. It was different for us because DJing was about just the hottest, providing what was the hottest thing. We would take the albums and listen to them ourselves and pick the hottest gems off the albums. So our mixtapes became hot because we was choosing. We was basically the first A&Rs, you know what I'm saying, of the streets where we was from because we was actually taking those records and actually selling them.
Texas, like Dallas, Houston, probably really started the first, like, how we say, like, one artist do a whole album and they call it a mixtape. I would really say that really started down in Texas. They was doing that shit first, because I remember when, in New York, when the mixtape game kind of watered down, my cousin DJ Storm in Texas and Houston put me on the game down there. I was still getting mad money in Texas because they was still buying physical CDs.
They was new to it
and all that stuff.
Now, you was the first mixtape DJ I seen do an official album. Do you feel like that you compromised?
First album that went platinum, thank you.
First album that went platinum, all right, cool.
I ain't heard that album.
First artist on Roc-A-Fella that went platinum. Keep going.
Oh, wow. All right, so the heavy talk, right?
I ain't heard that
But
album.
the professional,
I didn't know that.
the professional, right? Like when you did that, right? Did you feel like, I mean, were you making more money off the album than you were just selling your tapes?
Nah.
But so why did you
mixtape?
So, all right, so my question is, at that point, of course, you know, Roc-A-Fella starts becoming this brand that's growing really quickly. Jay is like one of the biggest artists in the city or whatever, but like, why would you sign to, like, cause now a kid who's a DJ Clue right now, if they had the same path, they'd be like, fuck, I'm signing to a label for. Why did you sign to a label?
Because I knew, you know, the whole Def Jam, they had a larger
big movement,
reach,
yeah.
like worldwide. So now I'm thinking, all right, now I'm already making my money anyways on the street. Now I'm gonna brand myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna brand myself. I'm gonna get in as many homes as I can, and then I'm gonna take it, and I could do a whole bunch of other things, outside of music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I thought of it. I thought of it as, all right, look, so now I'm got the streets. I'm gonna become a household name in many different ways.
And for the record, I was that kid, so
Oh yeah.
watching.
Okay.
And I got the whole blueprint.
Lenny, as an A&R, your name is on one of the biggest diss records ever. You know what I mean? Lenny S, DJ Envy, holla at your boy, Bang Bang Seagull Street Gang early. You know what I mean? With Beans this Kiss. Yeah. How was that for you, bro? Because at that point, you know, I know you working that rock and all that, but it's like a line strictly drawn in the sand where you can't even navigate yourself to a certain extent.
Yeah, for me, it was more so about standing my ground with, you know, with the team. You know, I've always been rock for life, and that was my mission. Like, Empire Strikes Back was the first mixtape. Dame told me to make a mixtape, right? It was Dame or Jay, one of them. So I ain't gonna lie, at the time, Clue was so big, Clue was like, he was what we would say now Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? It was just going, no, like, in a good way, in a way where like, Clue was successful.
I couldn't get involved anyway. Because
Clue was big.
I was cool with, you know, Rough Riders and kissing them. Yeah. I was cool being, I had to stay in the anyway.
You signed to Roc-A-Fella though. I don't
yeah. Yo, you signed to Rock. But Clue was big.
Nah, I got you.
And in my eyes, it was gonna be more difficult. Sorry, Clue. It was gonna be more difficult to make it with Clue. So I ain't gonna lie, I lied. I never lied to Jay, probably except this. I lied. So I told Jay, I was like, yo, Dame want me to make a mixtape, but I was like, you know, Clue, man, hectic. And I know Envy and Splash did his distribution. So I just wanted it to get out to as many people as possible without the, for lack of a better word, headache of, you know what I'm saying? Clue is big. Clue is the biggest. So whatever, I told Jay that, then I went back to Dame and I told Dame, same thing. I was like, yo, Jay said, he cool, I'm gonna use Envy. Envy got the distribution, you know what I'm saying? We good. So I told both of them the opposite. Then I went to Envy and I told him, and I was like, but yo, in order to do this, I gotta put my name on this shit. Like it gotta be. Because really, the honest truth, Dame had threatened us. Dame legit, we had got in trouble for some, and Dame was like, if y'all niggas don't get your name up, if y'all don't create your own, you know what I'm saying, career, if this shit ends tomorrow, y'all all gonna be in the street doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? No, real shit. And I was like, oh shit, and that's what made me like, I gotta get my name out there. And that's why I did all that, so that I could, and again, it was just easier with Envy and Splash. They had the distribution. Envy was brand new. He was gonna listen to anything. You know what I'm saying? Like he just wanted to, you know what I'm saying? Get his name popping even half of what Clue had. And then that's how that came about. And that was the DJ Envy and Lenny S present.
Yeah,
then from there, I was going to all, you know what I'm saying? I was going to Jim, Cam, Jewels, Bleak, Beans, State Property. I was in Philly, I was in Harlem. I was going everywhere just getting, and they was, you know what I'm saying? They was popping, they was trying to get shit out themselves, and then they was just saying the name, and that's how it grew.
A lot of people got ran down on y'all era because they had exclusives that they wasn't supposed to have.
But there's a whole nother thing. DJs were trying to be like Clue, get that Clue shit, exclusive, and get their head fucking bust because you taking money out of our pocket by somehow finding these records from people in the studio that was doing whatever they was doing and then getting them out. Now, how about this? What record that you play you knew you shouldn't have played?
Yeah, tell a story.
Oh, I mean, everyone know about the story with Biggie. Okay. So
beginning to end.
I got my hands on a Biggie record. It was a demo, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't really know everyone at Bad Boy yet, but I knew some of the dudes worked in my neighborhood. I got my hands on a record. I put it on a mixtape. Biggie got mad. He went on Hot 97. Said, "Yo, Clue, when I find you, I'ma kill you," or whatever he said. On live radio. On live radio.
Live radio.
So
how'd you feel though when you heard the biggest rapper in the fucking
for real?
Said it's gonna kill you.
Like what was that like?
Yeah. You wanna know exactly what happened?
Yeah.
I got on the phone and said, "Yo, we gotta do a diss record. Come on."
No.
Oh, you had no fear.
Yeah.
You was like,
Nah.
not like on some scare. I'm just saying like.
I'm just saying, like, I was young. We was rolling around on a different type of time. Like I didn't know who they were, and they didn't know who I was. They didn't even know what I looked like. I remember one time when that beef was kind of on. We was in Virginia Beach. Virginia Beach back then was like how like Miami is like now. Everyone go down there and chill and hang out. We was in Virginia Beach, and I went to the store and I walked up by myself. So now I'm walking to the store, and all I see is like the whole bad boy street team. They got the picket signs, but they don't know what I look like.
Yeah.
So they know they got drama with me. They know they got beef with me, but they don't know what I look like. So I'm walking to 7-Eleven. I see like 30 of them come down the street, but I know they don't know what I look like. I walked right through them. They know that DJ Clue walked right by them.
That's
The
crazy.
nigga that y'all got drama with walked
You was by
right
yourself?
by you. Yeah, I was by myself.
Jeez.
Well, good thing they didn't know what you look like.
How did it squash?
Yeah.
Oh, so one day Puff called Steve's office. And I'm like, I'm gonna just tell this nigga like, yo, what it is? He's like, yo, who's this? I'm like, this is Clue. He said, what? Like the phone froze for a second. He's like, what? He's like, yo, Playboy. You know how it is. Yo, Playboy, like, yo, come on, what's up with all that? Da-da-da. So I'm like, listen, man, I got the song, put it on the mixtape. He's like, yo, I wanna meet with you. So then we met up, we talked it out. He was like, listen, just from now on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think Puff realized, like, you know, having the vehicle and seeing the impact of what the song did on my mixtape, I feel like he felt like the relationship was more important than taking it to the wrong place. Feel me? Like,
What song is a song we know?
it was the original One More Chance.
Oh,
original.
wow. That was like...
It was supposed to go
That
on.
was his
Get,
breakout single, yeah. I know how that nigga was,
He's even
man.
out of the
Right.
details.
how did you get it?
Yeah,
though?
like how the hell did you get your hands on that record? Like,
If I tell you that, I have to kill you.
Oh, man.
well, you don't have to kill me, so tell me how you got the damn song.
Yeah, we want to.
Come on, Clue. That's
30
just-
If I got a record, somebody slid me the record because they knew what that would do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So, I mean, essentially, this kind of... I mean, Biggie ended up being Biggie, but like at this time in his career, it helped him.
When I almost got into beef with the whole of Brooklyn because I played Foxy Brown record, I got it the right way, but it was like, you know, like I tell you, they was like, listen, I could give you this record, but it might cause some trouble.
Wait a
What
minute.
Foxy record was it?
Wait a minute. What
What
Foxy
Foxy record
Brown
was
record?
This is a joint with Capone Noriega?
It wasn't the joint with Capone Noriega. It was, I forget which exact record it was, but it was a record.
This
off
when
her
she
album.
just was coming out, when she was on
When
fire?
she was trying to come out. She was trying to come out, and then, you know what I'm saying, I got one of them calls, like, yo, nigga, when we see you, you don't know who we are. We gonna kidnap you, this, that, and the third. You better bring this money to the studio right now. So we was like,
Damn.
oh, word.
Yeah, nah, it never got that serious.
So now,
for us, man.
we hopped in the cars, and we went up there ready to get active. Like, yo, we got the money, come outside right now. And they came downstairs, and it got a little messy for a minute, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Two-part question, because later then you started making commercial albums.
right.
Did any of your songs ever get leaked?
Yeah.
And did you give the same respect?
No, I didn't. Because like I told you, I got the song the right way.
mean,
When I said I get the song the right way, that's like Jim saying, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. That's like Jim saying, like, yo, here, Joel single, play it, just say you didn't get it from me.
So
that's
my-
still getting
all
it
right.
right. It's still
That's-
getting
I
the
mean,
right
but
way.
yeah,
That
that's
happens
not-
all the
that's not
time,
official.
though.
That's getting
Happens
the right
all the
way,
time.
but
That's not the
I'm
right
not
way.
giving it
Happens
my
all the
trust
time.
me.
That
Alright, so
happened a lot. I went to
Happens
court
all
for
the
that.
Right.
Trust me, that shit happened.
And you know, recipes to...
That don't hold up in court.
Listen, I'm just saying, let's say Jim is trying to break Joel's, right?
Uh-huh.
Jim give me a Joel song to put on my mixtape, but he don't tell Joel's, he don't tell Cam, he don't tell nobody, but he knows for the betterment of the team.
But
He gave me the
personally,
song, it's still
that's
getting the song the
I
right
don't
way.
think
Scary.
a Jim would do that. Meaning, like anybody in the top 5, I think
Well,
is somebody.
I'm telling you, you're wrong.
I think you was on some you was
I'm
getting with
I'm
them
telling you-
A&Rs and you was
Nah,
you
I'm
was
telling
going
you,
to them
listen,
studios.
Whenever I got a song that was exclusive, I got it from
Cool,
the
you was
top.
making a lot of
Pause.
money.
I got it from the top.
You didn't pay some
It was
people
way
for some
more
of them
hectic,
records.
guys.
I don't
Yeah.
want to hear none of that, Clue.
Yeah.
You done made a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
money off. You
Yeah.
done paid for
Yeah.
some of them records, Clue.
Sometimes.
Nah.
Clue,
Sometimes.
stop.
It's
So,
worth
Clue,
it.
my question is this, Clue. Like,
listen, on my father's grave, I never paid for the exclusive.
All right,
but
we gonna leave
question,
it
all
there.
right, in your heyday, right?
Never.
In your heyday, when Clue is at the top of his game, could people pay to get on a Clue tape?
Nah, you really couldn't.
Hell no.
You really couldn't.
Yeah, you
That's why
could.
we-
I'm gonna
Because
tell you that you
it's-
could, because we tried to
I
get
don't believe
plenty
that.
of time from the South to get up there. He couldn't.
Competition, you know, like we mentioned, is such a big part of hip hop, right? But like, and I think all of us have our experiences in this field when it comes to beef, specifically my brother Jim Jones. But like, you know, it was a point in time. How much did beef play into like the mixtape game? Like,
the beef inside of hip hop is not a mixtape thing. It's a hip hop thing. It's a lot of niggas that got you heard like a lot of ego putting in the same room.
Right.
And it's shit is bound to happen and shit like that. Like look at Kumo D, LL Cool J. Like we could go on and on, but the mixtapes. Heightened a lot of different situations because now it was an ongoing thing that you started.
And you can be totally unfiltered. So the point I wanted to make was, right, like we talked about Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back kind of came on the heels of Ether. You know what I'm saying? And all the shit, everybody attacking Roc-A-Fella. Then the Diplomats Volume 3, where Jewels opens it up on Champions, going at Nas, you know what I'm saying?
I didn't even know
At that time in hip hop, you know, we was watching Tupac and all them how successful they was getting off of going crazy on everybody. This was a whole era right there where this was a marketing tool that was working for major labels and artists that had the upper hand at the time and shit like that. As you can see, Nas and Jay got into their spat. That ended up being like that's what it was and shit. We was following suit. We wasn't having nothing. You did? Like, if that's what it's gonna take for niggas to get on, we in.
And they still doing it.
Like I say,
they still
a little overkill though.
I mean, yeah, I think that it's a little bit.
This shit is just way
it's
crazy
way
right
different.
there.
I had so many situations where I would get freestyles from people and not even know that they was throwing shots at people. Like,
man.
And I'd be like, and then I would go back like I didn't even know like Nas took a shot at Jay on the Eye for Eye freestyle when he said, "You want to be God fucking with Nas." I didn't put two and two together because I'm just like, it's a dope freestyle.
Same with me.
I didn't even know that.
Gucci was going in Jeezy on a couple of records, and I was just putting the shit together.
Because niggas don't be mentioning names, but niggas is going straight ahead.
But they let me fit it in the club, though.
So is a mixtape without a
it was
DJ?
mixtape, definitely.
Because we never got to the answer.
Yeah.
Yo,
About
So
the
Far Gone was a
mixtape.
mixtape.
So is
So
a
Far Gone was a
mixtape a mixtape
Yeah.
without a
Without a
DJ?
DJ?
See,
I mean, let's take it that word.
Yeah.
Mix.
A mix. Oh yeah, it used to be blends
Tape.
back in the days.
So that's what I'm saying. So I understand when the artist, Jim, I understand what
I think we took the business model that your DJs created and put our own emphasis on it, which still creates still in the same vein of a mixtape.
It's a mixtape because it's a mixture of songs.
It's a compilation.
Okay, so what is a compilation then?
A motherfucking executive sits back and says, this motherfucker got
Making a
this
coin.
going crazy. Now we got to put that in your
Because
deal
he
now.
got more freedom
Drake
on that.
and Future
business.
named
That's
that album a mixtape. Just for the record, I'm saying.
What a time to be alive.
Yes. They named that them, not saying
For shits and giggles.
They.
We're gonna name it a mixtape.
I'm just saying
Okay.
that's how it's evolved.
But I'm saying, why did they name it a mixtape?
I think it's an album.
I was just asking what's the difference between a mixtape and an EP?
Well, just
An
make
EP is supposed to be regulated
Less
to like
songs.
6 to 8 records.
6 to 8
EP and
records.
LP go together.
Yeah.
EP is a short album
Got
per
it.
se.
LP is
long
really
play.
was.
I don't
But-
think you need, and I could be wrong, I don't think you need a host in order for it to be a mixtape. I think you can still make a
that's
mixtape
where
without a host.
That's where
I
it
think
started
that's-
from.
so
That's
let me ask you
that
that.
evolution.
I'm not
Okay,
talking
but
about
I'm saying that
I'm
you
happy
need a
you
host.
said that. I'm happy you said that because then I gotta bring up Tyler, the Creator, who just
What?
grew up as a super duper DJ drama fan and Gangsta Grills being such a part of his life, especially the Pharrell one, and him saying, I always wanted to do a Gangsta Grills.
Yeah.
He dropped an album, right? Now, if we look in his contract, it's a fucking album. He won rap album of the year for it
Yeah,
at the
you can do
Grammys.
that, yeah.
What I'm saying is he had a host on it. And a lot of kids that's his fan base didn't understand it because they're not from the time
Because
of
he
when
grew up
Clue-
on the origin.
It was a Gangsta Grill project.
It was a Gangsta Grill project.
Nah, y'all getting cute and fancy with the words and
That
shit.
shit-
It was a mixtape, but it was
mixtape.
commercial.
The origin of a
I just put out a
mixtape is somebody else.
Gangsta Grill earlier this year. It's
Yeah.
a project.
It's a project.
It's on all platforms.
exactly.
I'm
It's a
paid off of
project.
it.
But-
Started as mixtapes, but it's a project.
So what I'm-
Listen, mixtape album, right? Listen, the truth of it is, it was a facade for the artists when they started calling their projects mixtapes because this is what it gave to them. It gave to them the fact to say that, oh, that flopped, oh, that was a mixtape.
That's true.
100%.
That was the scapegoat.
That's
Right.
a fact.
Yeah.
That's right.
That was the scapegoat.
Right. So for my time, when I was growing up, the first mixtape I bought was a cassette tape. Cassette tape. When I hear tape, that's where it comes
That's
from.
where it started.
It
That's
came
where it
from
come
a
from.
cassette. When I was a
I
kid,
mean-
and I used to be in Harlem, it used to be
Y'all
dudes,
getting
and Jim, you
DJ
remember
specific.
this? You remember this, Jim? When niggas used to come down 8th Ave, and they had the big ass speaker. I think it was Ron G. Used to come down sometimes, playing the big ass speaker, or it was dudes that was selling their mixtapes with a big ass speaker, rolling it around, and they had a pack of tapes. and they was selling it hand to
Bro,
hand.
they've been doing Cool Herc, been doing mixtapes.
Right,
since
but what I'm
before
saying
that
is,
was
all right. So look,
And
the term we ain't
That's
used the
Jay.
fucking cassette tape in eons. So
the
even the
term
word
stuck.
tape has evolved way past when Clue started putting them shits on TVs. I mean CDs. They still was called
It ain't
tapes.
a mixed CD. It's
But
a
it was
mixtape
not no
still.
tape. Nyla, how many cassette tapes have you ever used in your lifetime?
None.
Zero.
Exactly. So but use this term mixtape still means something to you.
And by the way,
So
you still say, yo, you heard that new tape?
you heard that new tape. Ain't no fucking tape. Now the mixtape used to be now some of the tapes I used to buy when I was a kid, it used to be people cutting on them shits sometimes. Blending on them shits from one song to the next.
Right.
Then it was just people shouting shit out like the Brucey B joints when they just having a feel good vibe. Then it was Clue actually introing, got this new da da da.
Right.
See, that's what we got.
Telling
yeah.
you who the fuck you about to
But
listen to.
that's from us listening to the radio and recording the
Right.
DJ on the radio.
There you go, yeah.
Okay. Now I got Funk Flex mixtape from last Friday when he was on the radio.
Right.
This is-
Mixing.
Then the term
this
get your
is-
tapes ready.
DJs
Not
wasn't
just
even
playing a
doing it.
record. He
DJs
wasn't just playing a record. He wasn't just saying, hey, I got Funk Master Flex, and here's the new
It's the
holiday.
mixing of the
How about this,
songs
though?
and
How
the
about this,
We're
Ron?
getting away from what the
cosign.
It just got-
But the cosign
It's
don't
a
exist
cosign
anymore in the sense of
mixtape,
how people
everybody.
create
It wasn't just
mixtapes.
It's
I
a
don't think
cosign.
so.
and
Just
it-
putting
it-
songs
it-
out
it-
there.
it
Just
evolved.
Right.
Just
I
what
don't
I'm
think
trying
it's
to tell him is that
technical.
everything has
We just
evolved.
wasn't throwing
So what
songs
he-
on
so
It
you're
there.
not
evolved.
wrong. You're
That's
not wrong.
it.
100%
You're not wrong
right.
with
I'm
your
not wrong.
saying.
But it
Wasn't
has
just throwing
evolved
songs
so
on there.
much
Yeah, yeah.
since it
I got it.
started.
Because
You
look,
heard? Like,
because Section
So listen.
80, look, Section 80 from Kendrick Lamar is considered a mixtape. That is a fucking album. In the terms of the content that's on the project, to me it feels like an
Yeah,
album.
vice versa. It's not like To My Own Home. When a Clue tape drop, bro, it's like, yo, Clue dropping Friday, shit stop.
Yeah.
100%.
Shit
So-
stop.
It was a different
You know
time.
what I'm saying?
It was a
time.
habit.
I'm not taking away from
It was
the
a,
time.
it was it was a
It was.
time where you had
It
it.
was.
That was a whole different era. That feeling gave us a different feeling. Like it's different pockets of the mixtape shit. Like before you, we started out with the Ron G. That was heavy MPV era. Cassette
yeah.
tapes, the whole shit. You gotta get the whole cassette out. You
Right.
dig? Like that was a whole.
Facts.
And then it started stepping up to. Clue shit. Now we in the
Yeah.
CDs. Niggas got cars now. Like it's
Right.
different now. You heard? Like, we ain't in the cab on hold. That was like,
True.
and then now Cam is like, oh, I'm about to go do a Clue freestyle. Oh, that was more lit. Nigga, we
Right.
from here with it. I'm like, you dig? Like it was the shit that you bring to the table is like it went in sequence, and then from there we started taking pages out of what y'all was doing.
Yep.
So with that being said, right, like do you even think about who's the most influential in the mixtape space, right? Like you had your space as far as being a DJ with mixtapes, then you have the artists who have their mixtapes. Do you think about who's the most influential in that space?
You saying now
But
or
why-
then?
why-
Period. Like, I mean-
why? Let me ask you a question. When you presented that question the way you did, why do you make it two different categories like artists and like it got
Because I think because it goes back
who's the
to
top.
They
who-
serve
that's
two
it.
different purposes.
They do so it goes back to the whole conversation we was having prior because you
Yeah, I
got
think they do
mixtapes
too.
that mean something that you hosted, then you got mixtapes that's just Gucci Mane by himself
Yeah.
that Holiday hosted, then you got mixtapes with nobody hosting and it's still a mixtape. So I'm
Correct.
saying from a
We
DJ
never answered
perspective,
what makes a mixtape?
my
We
thing-
never
my
answered
thing-
the
my thing
question
is
though. What was the
these-
first question? We never answered it. We never answered what's a mixtape.
The
I-
artist-
it-
the art-
it
the
changes.
artist
It's
mixtape-
forever.
Everybody
evolved.
had
different.
everybody had
It
different.
evolved. We
Never
have to-
answered this question.
When
We
people
keep
try to
on
put
fighting
me-
it, the elephant in the room. But what's a mixtape?
That's what I was saying
You already
earlier. I
said
wasn't
it.
saying a mixtape is a compilation. I was saying a mixtape is a compilation of songs, like the actual meaning of the word, not what a record company means by compilation.
Right.
It's a compilation of the songs, then it evolved to a cool ass dude stamping records that you ain't never heard from your favorite artist. Mixtape.
Or an artist
Or
making
no
If that's the case,
Or
the
no
mixtapes
sales.
the mixtapes
There's
don't
the
exist anymore.
songs.
Mixtapes don't exist anymore if you're using that
I'm talking
terminology.
about today, mixtapes don't. This
Yeah.
But
got
no,
playlists.
you just-
If that's the case, then
But you
what's
just
a
said
playlist?
So Far Gone was a mixtape.
Yeah, what I'm
Mixtapes are
saying is,
projects
I
you
said
can't get
by that
cleared.
logic of what you're saying, a cool ass dude stamping it or whatever, right? If today, if we talking about like a playlist, was cause kind of it's structured the same way an old mixtape would be, but there's not who's the guy stamping it. It's not a DJ.
Tyler the Creator just got a Grammy for a mixtape.
I'm not speaking on that specifically. I'm talking about like a collection of songs, not an album that was
I think a
structured like
mixtape has
gangsta
changed. A
rap.
mixtape was an art that was out. It's no more here. We've taken it to so many different heights and things like that. It
Thank
started
you.
with
Thank
the
you,
original
Jim.
DJs,
Yeah,
like I
thank
said,
you.
from
Maybe he wasn't
Cool
always a
Herc and
video,
them,
man.
and then it moved into a
He
space.
evolved.
A mixtape was a space for DJs to really get their name out there and to make
Thank you,
some money.
thank you, thank you,
off of-
thank you,
off-
thank you,
off-
Jim.
but-
Thank you.
But the
That's
DJs,
all- that's all
but the
I want.
DJs also
And I heard
created.
it from an
But the
artist.
DJs also created a lane that artists started to capitalize off
That's
because
right.
they seen how DJs were manipulating the system by
That's
these
right.
illustrious mixtapes they were making.
I think
And
we
now
all
it's
agree
starting
on
to
that.
work in the artist's favor, where the artist took a
Made a lot
page
of
out of
money,
DJ's book and started to make their own
what we
mixtapes
agree
that
on.
started to exclude the DJs after a long while. Because remember, our first mixtape, K-Slay was on it. I always had a DJ attached to my mixtapes, maybe a couple of them that I didn't. Like even now, when I was like, yo, what should I do? My artist page, so like, yo, you need to do a drama mixtape. Remember, Tyler Creator did that, but that was like an album.
It was.
Love.
I was
When
gonna
I
say,
called
what made
Drama,
that
I called Drama
and
to do a
what made it not
mixtape.
an album.
Drama wasn't in the loop like that for mixtape. I'm like, yo, what's up? I need to do a drama mixtape. He like, you want to go? I'm like, yeah, let's go. Now, after I dropped that, look what happens. He got 13 mixtapes out right now, back to back to back to back to back. But it still started with the DJ. Like, I still felt like, yo, if I do this DJ drama mixtape,
For sure.
it's gonna put me on steroids. That's like if I was to call Clue. Maybe might have to call Clue and do a DJ Clue mixtape. You heard? Bring you out.
Clue,
Bring you
do the tape,
dust your
ain't
shoulders
doing-
off
he
real
not-
quick.
Right.
Bring you out. I
He
need
gotta get
all
back
the
out
old
there.
drops and all that. Clue shit, Clue
So I
shit,
think
Clue
you
shit.
answered the question.
Clue, did you ever do a mixtape like Drama and them? Like with an artist? Like, did you do a Clue hosted Fabs mixtape? Did you ever do one of those?
yeah.
I mean, the most recent one I probably would say I did was the Friday Night Freestyles with Fab. That
Yeah.
was like,
I'm talking about when
Not back
Drama and
then,
them was
right?
doing it. Like when Drama and them was in that mode.
No,
You
no,
never,
no,
I
he
was
was
never
doing-
jumping
I
into
told
that
him,
game.
Clue
right?
back on that shit.
I was doing Clue tapes, man.
Clue
But
was
that's
on
what I'm trying to say. So
Clue.
you never, so that form of
didn't have
mixtape
to.
that the DJ was hosting an artist's whole mixtape, you never really did.
Right.
Never
Trust
did
me,
that.
listen to me.
Clue was all
I've
about
turned
Clue.
down 30 of
No,
those.
I'm just asking.
keeping
I'm
it
just
never did
asking
one, right?
because this is major. Like we not even think about that. Like you went straight from how you did your mixtapes into becoming a DJ that had his first platinum album, like you did.
And
But
I always wondered
and then
that, why
and the
you
most
did that.
influential, one of the most influential eras of mixtapes with DJs were partnering up with artists and running them down. You never did that.
Nah,
Never did.
I think I might have done a couple here and there. Nothing like that's really.
No, I'm not saying it's a
By the way,
bad thing.
it's
I'm saying
okay,
that
it's fine.
you might have
Yeah,
missed
I mean,
out because you might have had one.
did-
You might have had a real run right there doing that. Like,
Could have had a
but
bad joint.
But that's what I started with.
I
Could have had a
of
J
course,
one.
of
Could have had
course I
a
did
punch
Fat,
joint.
and of course I did 18. Stack
course.
bundles.
Yeah, I was
I did
about to say,
I
now,
did a
it
few of
was-
those. But those that was more in like the we did the Desert Storm mixtape. That's
Right.
like in the family, like you know what I'm
That
saying?
was
you
a
never-
compilation.
Man,
Can I say something though? One nigga that was
I never heard
futuristic with the mixtapes was Doo-Wop. Because
Doo-Wop,
everything
yes.
that
I
we
was gonna
doing
say
right
my list.
now,
DJ Doo-Wop.
On my list.
he was a DJ that was doing everything that artists started to do later on in the mixtape.
His intros was
He was
crazy. His
rapping.
intros was crazy,
He had
absolutely.
his own artist. I mean, he was still a mixtape with a compilation of a record.
Yeah,
but the
Snagglepuss,
idea of what he
Snaggle.
had,
Yeah.
he was always rapping. He had his own Snagglepuss and all them. He had his own
Yeah.
group of artists that was rapping all through the shit.
One of my
So he
favorite tapes is
kinda-
Live 95.
Like
when
that
they
nigga
live.
Doo-Wop
And
had
that's
a,
what happened
you know
with
what I
us
mean?
with
Like he
the-
was
with the school
futuristic
tapes.
with that
Man.
part.
That's
Because
what
he
happened
was
with
on
school
there
tapes.
doing a group situation. Like,
Yep.
I think like from this whole conversation that we really got, like a mixtape, it means different things to different people.
Yeah.
Like that shit
But
means
it
meant
starts with a DJ.
It starts with a DJ. No, it does. You know what I mean? It starts with a DJ, but like that term, you know, it kept
It
it's
evolved.
forever evolving.
Evolved.
It's forever
And
evolving,
it's
and
gonna
it's
keep
like
evolving, just like we said. Now
But mixtapes
mixtapes is a
have done-
playlist.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like mixtapes, you know,
Curated.
kind of subconsciously, like they've been
Curated,
so much of a
exactly. It's the
foundation
DJ.
of where hip hop is.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Because like you
Been
said,
paid to
Jim,
be a
like
curator.
when you couldn't clear a record or you couldn't get some shit, I was like,
because
nah,
hip hop
we
has always been the raw and untapped music that we love.
right.
We love the rawest music out of everything, you heard, and that's what the mixtapes represented, and that's always been hip hop. All the polished albums that we put out, because the label was on our back and shit like that, that's what forced the artists to do these mixtapes, because we was showing our ass, like, nigga, this is, and that's what a mixtape is very instrumental to what hip hop
album-
has
albums
done
when
in the
you go to
last
work.
50 years.
They don't know what they're
Let's
doing.
get to this. What does a
That's what I'm
mixtape
saying.
mean to a person like us that comes from New York? That shit means everything.
Everything,
Yeah.
everything.
That means your diddy bop, your slang,
Yeah.
how you drive your car, how you dress. Like, nigga, that shit was soundtracks to
Current
niggas
events.
coming up
That's
from
what's
the
up.
early 90s all the way
right.
to the 2000s. Like, nigga.
Yep.
Right.
For us
That's
in
the
Atlanta,
same
was
way for
Bible
us too.
for a New
Yeah, I don't
York
think
nigga.
that's
for
just
us
New
too,
York.
because like you're saying, it was just in the form of screw tapes though. So they just ran to the screw tapes to find out what was the new Jim Jones, what was the new, because
they
we
got
didn't
whole
get it first.
Clue tapes screwed up. They used to,
Yeah,
they used to
well,
screw
yeah,
I
all
know.
them
Yeah.
DJs mixtapes up and shit like that.
One thing a playlist will never do that. A mixtape will cement a moment in time. What you was wearing, what you was listening
That's
to.
a
what I'm
fact.
trying to tell
That
you.
is a fact.
Yeah. For
It
New
can cement
York
the-
niggas,
let's
you
say
nigga
it can
know,
cement the
bro.
crack- the
Like,
crack
we
era.
took the
It can
DC
cement the
trip
crack
that
era.
time.
Yeah.
We had this going.
That's
Like,
a
nigga,
fact.
I had to fight with such a like that shit meant everything.
Yeah.
Now it's a
It's safe to
playlist.
say, that a mixtape is just simply hip hop. 100%.
Of course, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a part of hip hop.
Cool. So like, who y'all think is the most like influential artist when it comes to mixtapes or and DJ? Like, who do y'all think?
Wayne.
For me, Wayne, because Wayne and Drama, them dedications were nuts.
I say Wayne and Drama as well. On the
I go
DJ
with
side.
Wayne, and for as
And
you know,
Jeezy.
for as a DJ go, I'm gonna just say I have to give to Clue, Drama, and really y'all know Holiday has been like a lot of people like to
that's a
see
fact.
from
Yeah,
the
that's a
South
fact.
like it was those it was Clue, K-Slay,
I
Drama.
give the case like
And some of us knew about, Big Mike. You know what I'm saying? So, it was, I don't know if we,
K-Slay put a lot of
Gucci.
South. K-Slay put a lot of South
people
artists.
on.
Yeah, a lot of people
Yeah.
on. He would listen to anybody, man.
Look.
K-Slay was-
Cool. Who's the most influential, Clue?
You gotta leave me out of that one.
I can tell you this, in high school, for my high school era, I would go Ron G. After high school, I would go Clue. After when 2000 hits, I'm going into Drama.
Yeah, for me in high school it was Clue. I was in high school in the '90s, so
For
it was,
high
it was
school,
Clue for
I'm
me.
gonna say Big Oomp, everything they put out.
Big Oomp.
And then when I got a little older in college, it was Drama.
Yeah.
And then when I got popping, it was me.
Can I say this? Diplomats had the first group mixtape before G Unit. I just want to put that out there.
Wayne needs to end on this. Wayne needs to end on this.